I am being a good boy, so I am not moaning about Tom Queen demolishing Mr. Terrifical's character forever. Here is Excellent Men 78. It is the second chapter of that Shadow Thief story, which is only 2 parts long. It's saying something that a big story only being 2 parts is shocking. This story, I didn't know if there was some behind the scenes interference, but it is really weird. It is poised like a big story. It crosses over into other books, but there's little lasting impact. It is, however, one of the more insightful dives into Fetish Fuel's character. We have the always welcome fold-out recap page, which is fantastic. It lists the cast and tells us the backstory. I won't go out who was in the book again. Fetish Fuel, she's the only important one. Some of the newer members as well, I suppose. Shadow Thief, he has won, and the world is descending into madness and chaos because of his mental influence. And there he is, Shadow Thief. He has won because he did something last issue. It wasn't explained that well. So here is 2 pages trying to explain it, as well as all the appropriate history for Shadow Thief. He lured Fetish Fuel into a psychic battle and caused like a brain EMP, which knocked out all psychic powers on Earth. Also, there is this horrifying body horror, unlike the one character in the Marvel Universe who should never be the vessel for deformities. She's meant to be wanked hour, not fuel nightmares. One part of the story that I think is nicely done is Shadow Thief wants to corrupt the new Excellent Men, and this is a great chance to spotlight them or just say some stuff about their characters. In part 1, I said how I was pretty down on these new ones. I didn't think they are quite right for one of the main Excellent Men teams. Mara and Maggot, in my opinion, they both fit much better with Generation Next. And Alice Baraga, she is never interesting, and she isn't even dark-skinned enough, so this is blatantly whitewashing the character. Shadow Thief, he is trying to tempt them with their deep desires, like Alice Baraga, she wants to be a doctor again. Maggot, he wants to be a superhero. And Mara, I don't think they ever do anything worthwhile with Mara. They just keep hammering home the same hard thing about how she wants to be beautiful, or how she could be beautiful without her mutation. That seems like the only Mara story they ever told. So while he is trying his darndest to manipulate them, we also have the veteran Excellent Men who are subjected to mental torture. Like Cannonballs, he is still in that mine shaft he has been in since last issue. Wolfman is chained up like a beast. And Storms is buried alive. But it's not over yet. Fetish Fuel is back in a weird black psychic astral shadow form. And I think this is probably meant to be sexy, but it's not really. I suppose they were running down the list of fetishes and they got to symbiotes. So we see more madness at the United Nations because everyone has gone insane because of Shadow Thief. I wonder if Shadow Thief, if he planned this whole scheme around when there would be a scheduled meeting at the UN. These cutaways, it's kind of odd that they are not showing like the other Excellent Men or the other muties dealing with the fallout or teasing their tie-in issues. This is an odd story. It is like a crossover that was decided to be a crossover after it was already written. We got some boring stuff with Storms here. You've got to remember, with the excellent men, they are forever defined by Christopher Clairvoyant. So other writers, they feel the need to continue with the bullshit Storms fanfiction. Now though, it is Fetish Fuel versus Shadow Thief round 2. And we have a bit that would be dead sexy if she wasn't covered in tar. Shadow Thief tries to seduce her with promises of her being his queen, and she appears like she's into it, and we're now onto the good girls being corrupted, part of that fetish list that we're just running down. But she doesn't really gan with this trick, and we have a big psychic fight between Fetish Fuel and Shadow Thief. And as with the last issue, my biggest gripe with this story is it seems a complete waste of the Fetish Fuel character to not have constantly making faces like this throughout. This is what the character is all about. This here, stuff to get you ganning. There's nought to her character beyond that. I mean, she is a British-born supermodel who appears innocent and then magically becomes a sexy ninja warrior who is horny for cyclists. She's just Fetish Fuel. She's nothing more. Fetish Fuel, she defeats Shadow Thief and everything can return to normal. People stop getting crazy. Oh, but first, there's some tendril stuff there. Tick that off the list of kinks. And she wins by trapping Shadow Thief inside this Pokeball. Gotta catch 'em all. Is Pokemon a fetish? To imprison Shadow Thief forever, Fetish Fuel can never use her psionic powers again, for fear of allowing them a chance to escape from the prison in her mind. It's okay, she will ignore her own rules pretty quickly. We get some little character moments here between Cannonballs and Mara, and then a nice one up here with Maggot and Wolfman. And we end with girl-on-girl action. Fetish Fuel says how she has to leave the team because she can no longer use her telepathic powers. Sometimes I do comics and I cannot think of what really to say at the end or how to appropriately conclude on an issue. And I kind of have that here. I think it was an interesting character study on Fetish Fuel, and the baddie, he was alright, but it doesn't feel like it was executed flawlessly. It doesn't feel like a complete story. I also didn't like the trend of giving a character a big story like this, but it's really just like a fake out. It's like an excuse to end with getting rid of the character. If you like Fetish Fuel, or rather if you think you like Fetish Fuel and you pretend that she is an actual character, this is worth checking out. If you're wanting to bash off over her, there's better stories than this. Unless you have a thing for them shadow body sort of things. I didn't, so I'm giving it a 7 thumbs up.